Hello everyone, I am Taranjeet from the core team of Air Club. As we always say, being in a Tier 3 college, we always felt a lack of technical lack of technical and overall growth activities in our college. Air Club organizes events, sessions, and hackathons with industry experts and companies to boost student learning and reward them with swags and prizes. Thank you so much for showering love and support on our previous events. We are strong team of 1500 plus family now. In our community, a lot of people didn't know about Kavach hackathon and how they have to begin for Kavach. To educate and aware them about the hackathon and how they can start their Kavach journey, today we are here with Mr. Aditya Shende to guide you on the Secure the Future, a guidance session on Kavach 2K23 Hackathon. He is the director at M17 Bounty Hunter at Bugcrowd and a corporate trainer. I hope this session will add value to your upskilling journey. Now I would like to hand over the virtual stage to our expert speaker, Mr. Aditya Shinde.
Thank you, Taranjeet. I will start with my presentation. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So basically talking about the Kavach 2023, it's a cybersecurity hackathon, and I'm presenting the MI7 Global Hackers community. I'm a core member of it. And yeah, on behalf of that, I would like to give my introduction. It's been 7 years into bug bounty and offensive security that I have did so many security found so many security vulnerabilities into the application, multiple high-level tech object giants like Google, Microsoft, and I recently completed my master's in cybersecurity in the UK. So, what is actually today's agenda? What we are looking into it. So, as you have seen the problem statements on the Kavach website, so we'll be looking on that step by step. What are the keywords and what are the things you need to research before you are developing the application? On that basis, we'll be looking at technical guide and what are the possible challenges we might face while developing. What are the test cases or UAT cases we need to look, and end of the time we'll be looking at the automation that how it can save our time in the future by creating those applications, and we can go for it for the security of nation. So basically executive summary about today's thing is towards 2023, it's an opportunity for higher institutional students and also startup in India. So we'll be looking over all the statements however we can complete, and we'll be looking into innovative ideas and concepts also. So let's talk about the first one. So we have the first statement in which we have to develop a woman safety app that automatically senses danger and trigger the SOS or danger messages with the location details. So on the basis of that, we have to go with the first development application. And in today's era, we can go for Kotlin and multiple other stuff. So in that case, in mobile app development platform, we'll need Android Studio, Xamarin, React Native. So these type of keyword you need to research before what you are doing. So you can also go for the VS Studio. And our statement as it shows like a location details. For that we'll need a sensor technology into the systems. And also the third point is image processing. So analyzing the image that can be done through the Google APIs, where we reverse the image or we research the image if it is publicly available or not. So, in the sense of gyroscope and proximity sensor and ambient light sensor, that will help us to detect a specific task or specific modality into the application level systems. And on that basis, we can analyze the data through the AI or ML, and then we can process for the whole output. So that case includes SOS or alert. So once we created the case like if and else, if the a person or the individual into the danger, it can create a SOS message and that can be sent to the specific authority or specific organization to protect that person. Also, it will include audio processing, in which the US already have the systems where 911 includes a specific code that analyze the audio behind the or in the background of that specific victim or that specific individual. So that include a machine learning. So on the pitch of the voice, it collects the analysis of data by identifying the danger or whatever going into the behind. So as we also know, the GPS technology that will be used for location systems, and it will send a specific location. But in that case, there is a small challenge we might face, that latitude or longitude, because that time will need a precise location which includes 20 meter square area to emergency services. And talking about the whole this application data, where it can be done or how it can be done, so we can go for serverless application, which includes the cloud technology. It can store the data, analyze the data as per its goes. So at the moment, the chat GPT also is evolving in the automation case, and we can learn from it. And also, if we learn that specific analysis, so we can process for multiple application, not even a SOS danger, but any other applications. So overall, the specific modality of this application includes a safety, woman safety app that automatically senses the danger. So let's jump on the next what we have. So we have to develop a tool that detect, prevent phishing attacks and social media platforms. So nowadays we have seen like a lot of social media includes Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Many people created like hackers, or many bad people created like phishing links, or that will look like similar to the Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. So in that case, we have to develop a specific tool, or we can say develop a specific framework that will prevent a phishing attacks on social media platform. So what does that mean? How we need to go for it? So first of all, we have to go for the machine learning. We have to tell that system that this is the phishing and this is not phishing, because sometimes anyhow the systems are created by the humans might be false positive. So we have to make it very accurate, that can collaborate with NLP, which is natural language processing, to analyze the text in a social media. So let's talk about the what is the text actually. So you have seen the capital I and the small l, which will look like the same, but it's not the same. So hackers or bad people creates a specific domain or own the specific domain. The I looks like L or the L looks like I. So we believe that Instagram.com actually it starts with L. So that's a phishing. So for that we need a NLP that will check for the social media post, also the network analysis or domain analysis. So in that case we can use the APIs. So why we need to use the APIs? To check the who is looking for that domain and when the domain has been started. So when we check the URLs, also we can go for web crawlers and multiple other websites if the malicious website is there or not. So on the basis of that, we have to integrate the whole API integration with the virus total. I'm just giving a hint of it. So on that cases, we can check if the application level or that specific URL level is malicious or not. So social media platform on those APIs. So Facebook, Meta, Instagram, Twitter, they do have their own APIs to check the validity of that specific users or what the specific user is posting. So we can get the developer documentation and get the access token to check that specific user really authorized or not to check the social media post or monitor the social media post. So that can include a potential phishing attacks. So for that, as I said, like we can go for web crawlers, and there are multiple tools which are available on the internet. So let's talk about the project discovery, which they have HTTPX, which is the probing tool, which will tell us if the domain is working or not. On the basis of that, we'll get to know that if it is similar to the Instagram.com, if it is similar to the Facebook.com, highly possible that it can give a specific malicious status code where we can at least assume on that. So overall, we have to integrate the APIs, we have to integrate the NLP, and we also have to include some business logic concepts to solve this problem. So we can prevent the phishing websites, or we can prevent the users from accessing them. So if it is once it is uploaded on the internet, so we have to continuously monitor those. So for that, we can use a multiple research tools, which as let's suppose talk about intellex.io, and another one is virus total. So those APIs can be integrated to check if it is really working or not. How the framework should be working, so might be Python, might be Bash scripting, or you can go for Rust also. So monitoring 24 by 7, 365 days, we have to perform the cron job on a specific time. It will start or it will crawl the specific application. So the problem what we might face here, that as we are using a Google APIs or public APIs, it is also third party. So sometimes third party can also block us if we send a multiple requests to the systems or multiple requests to the APIs. So in a problem three, we have detection and prevention of fileless malware. So basically, you have recently known there was an attack on a industry which was nuclear testing and chemical testing. So that file didn't include any kind of malware, but it was actually fileless malware. So learning the machine learning algorithm that can help us a lot. So what is the behavioral analysis? I will tell you about it. So behavioral analysis, as in I will give a sample example which includes a Cloudflare. So how Cloudflare works, it will learn the attack pattern, and it will, on that basis of attack pattern, it will block that specific system or that specific attack. So if we are sending 100 requests per second or 100 requests per minute, so Cloudflare will learn that in the sense of 1 minute we are getting 100 requests and we have to block it. So that includes a code signing validation. So if you tamper or if you manipulate that specific attack in the case of pattern learning or machine algorithms, so we can still bypass that. But in the case of fileless malwares, we have to analyze the file. For that, we'll need a memory scanning, which can be done through the DFI. So in the forensic case, I'm from offensive security. In the forensic case, I can give you the idea that there are multiple tools which are available that can scan a multiple data at the same moment, but it is very really hard, as in a problem statement, that we can scan for multiple times and we cannot get the proper data. So we have to make a precise, a specific framework that will detect and prevent fileless malwares. So on that cases, if you see, like I have attached the cloud system, cloud technology. If you see, store and analyze the data collected by the applications or the websites, whichever is publicly available. So that case includes a memory scanning plus serverless application plus cloud technology. So the problem statement P4, what I believe, like this is the actually favorite of mine. As offensive security, I'm mostly playing with CCTV feeds, and also as a security researcher, I always check for the network security is valid or not. So that case, computer vision, object detection, facial recognition, deep learning, natural NLP. So all over this specific keywords that, as I said, you have to research. In the computer vision and object detection, I will give a sample example that the Tesla model already have, or Tesla have already like lot of automated system. So sometimes I have seen the videos like not even that specific system or that vehicle able to detect the human or able to detect the specific another vehicle. So that case we have to combine the computer vision plus object detection that can be done from the binaries also, that can be done from the AI systems also. But as a human error, many systems can give us a false positive errors. So still we have to go for the precise. So how we can go for the precise? So as you can see, the object detection, the second point, and the third point is facial recognition. So we can combine these two points which can cover almost 110% of accuracy and precision. So for that will be go for the deep learning. So in that case, machine learning, deep learning, AI and ML, that will include some mathematical knowledge. So on that basis, we can at least get to know the diameter radius of that system or that individual or that specific person. So on the cases of CCTV feeds, it is highly possible that we can automate all those systems and information with Bash, Python, Rust, and Go. So mostly automation I used to do in Python and the Bash. So incidents using the CCTV that can be motion based. So that can detect a specific incident within a seconds, and it can move that CCTV feeds or move that CCTV cameras in that the same moment. And the automational part, people still have the 360 cameras which can detect all over the system. So it will be very time saving if we go with the 360 cameras and CCTV feeds. So in the case of 360 cameras, I have recommendation about Insta360 X3, which is the tool for testing. Not a tool for testing, actually it's a camera for action camera, biking camera, or traveling camera that can help you into the automation. And you can integrate that with object detection and facial recognition through the Python. And many people already did the facial recognition through the Python and integrated from the Raspberry Pis also. Talking about the NLP, first of all, you can focus on object detection and facial recognition. And over that, even if you completed these two topics, you can exclude remaining, because I have given a hint where you can use a 360 camera, and that can save you a lot of time. So, collection of RAM dump. So that is also my favorite topic. So this is a problem statement which when I was reading, when I was doing the research. Actually, I was researching over my airport, but this was like fantastic keyword for me, because most of the time security researcher and ethical hackers, they are many times concerned about the systems or the forensic. So in the USB forensic tools, talking about the offensive security, there is a one tool which named as uh, rubber ducky, that can be helpful for detection. So detection as in if the system is vulnerable or not. So Linux forensic tool, Windows forensic tools, and Mac forensic tools. In the cases of the current generation, most of the people use Linux and Windows for forensic, and Mac can be used for business purpose or professional level per individual. So in the Linux forensic tools and Windows forensic tool, there are multiple differences. So in Windows, even if many people said like even if we formatted or resetted the system, that can still a forensic people can see the information into the registry. So we have to create a specific tool, or we have to create a specific information or framework that will include a registry information or fetching the data from registry. So that's how it can help us. And talking about the USB forensic tools, the HackRF for the network and signal detection. Also, there are multiple other tools. So we can create a specific rubber ducky that can grab information from the registry, and that can also lead to the collection of RAM dump. Includes multiple binary information or multiple files or any kind of files that has been deleted from the system. Talking about the Mac forensic tools, there are multiple Oxygen OS systems still working on Mac OS by the virtual systems, and we can use that. But in the case of practical knowledge, Linux and Windows forensic tools are pretty privileged and pretty useful. So real-time detection of malicious indicators. So in the case of today's era, there can be any malicious indicators. So talking about malicious indicators, as in let's suppose we went to the mall or we went to any shop, and they are having a USB cable over the system for the charging. It is not necessary that USB cable is for charging. It is highly possible that can be a backdoor. If you insert into your system or your device, it is highly possible that it can transfer the data from one system to another one. But in the case of devices, we cannot save it. But in the case of a real-time detection, or if we go for the automation that includes API integration, patterns, and AI, as I said, like machine learning and AI always needs some mathematics. So it depends on that what kind of API integration you are using. So what do you think? What kind of API integration we need for malicious indicators? You can put in a chat so I can just let you know, like I'm engaging the people. So in the case of API integration for malicious indicators, so first of all, we'll need hardware if that specific area or if that specific signal network is properly working or not. So what does that mean? So the hack RF, the signal detector, and the signal manipulator. So we have to carry with that. So in that case, API integration can be useful. There are multiple other services, open source, are available over the API integration that we can use. So as I have given the example of VirusTotal and Intellex.io, which are publicly available. VirusTotal have a free queries which are publicly available, but in the case of whole API integration regarding that specific hardwares, including Hack RF and those signal detector tools, what we need to do, we can go for a specific search engines, and that search engine includes the name of student. So in the case of offensive security or security research, or in the case of also full stack developers, we can also check for the specific region, or we can also check for the specific latitude, longitude. if that area includes any kind of malicious devices which are publicly exposed. So Shodan is a search engine that can help us to check if any indicators or any kind of threat actor is publicly exposed or not. So let's suppose I'm walking into the cafe and I get to know like that camera is publicly exposed, anyone can access it or anyone can perform do that. So we can integrate the Shodan API with that specific tools which I have told you, which is network detection tool and manipulator tools. So in that integration, we can also use a voxml language that can start a beeping if it founds the specific devices nearby those specific area is having any kind of threat indicators or not. As in the first slide, as I explained, that we need a GPS technology also, which include 30 meters or 20 square meter area. So we can whole integrate this process with the application level testing or user acceptance testing. Talking about the AI and ML, also we have to give that specific qualities or we have to give that specific modality where it can detect a specific area which is vulnerable or not. So once we create that, we can overall automate this process into a single APK file, which is application file. And also you can go for the Kotlin if you want to develop the whole application. For that, you have to get the Shodan premium. And if you are a student, if you are having student email address, you have 1 year free access through the shodan.io. So this is the search engine which I'm explaining right now. So at the moment, you can just see the keywords which is API integration, pattern recognition, artificial and machine learning. So these keywords are like pretty enough for researching. So even if you have any question, you can reach out my Twitter, you can reach out to my Instagram or wherever. I'm happy to help you. Let's talk about the next. Sorry. So fund trail analysis. So nowadays, analytics and visualization, machine learning, and NLP. So from my case, what I've done the research that NLP can be used anywhere. So why NLP can be used anywhere? When we do the specific fund trail analysis, we also go for the data analytics. So when I was in UK, I have seen like many people took the big data, masters data analytics and data science also. So that time I didn't know like if it is really uh, worth or not. But when I came back here and I have seen like why data analytics can be useful, data visualization is useful. In that case, we can also predict the 95% future. So let's suppose the share market today is 20% down, tomorrow is 10%, next is 20, 10. This is the pattern actually, the pattern of 20. So what does it mean? So when we analyze that data in that specific timeline, or we visualize that data through the UML diagrams or whatever the diagrams you are comfortable, through the charts or pie charts, so we can check if in future if that specific trails or fund trails will be going up or down. So let's talk about the for first 3 months the trail analysis was down. First another month the trail analysis up. The another 3 months it's a down. So it created the pattern of seven. So three is a down, one is up, and three is again down. So there is actually a triangle pattern, or you can say the peak pattern that has been created through the system. So that data visualization we can create through it. But in the case of machine learning, it is highly weird that if we integrate the mathematics or stats into that, we might get a false positive result because it includes a random data. And we have to at least teach high possible levels or what can be done in the worst, what can be done in the best. So this is my most of the favorite topic, which I have done the research. So talking about the NFC tags and GPS tracking, mobile app development, and cloud-based storage data. So remote tracking of police officers. This was the topic when I was reading. Actually, it was like a very fantastic topic. NFC tags and readers. So uh, you guys know, like when we go to any restaurant or any hotel, they give us a specific card that we can access our rooms. Is it true or not?
Absolutely true, sir.
Yep.
Yes.
So if a person or a security person have the reader and writer of NFC tag, so he can read that data and he can manipulate. So let's suppose talking about one example or just an imaginary example, not do not try anywhere. So we are having any kind of NFC card where we can access a room. So let's suppose my room number is 102 or 123. So when we decoded that specific NFC tag through the reader, I have the parameter which includes my room number. So if I tamper that parameter through the writer, NFC tag writer, and if I change it to the 124, highly possible that I can access that specific room. So that in the case of offensive security, right? But also those NFC tracking systems or NFC, all those things that includes the GPS tracking also. All the integration can be done through the mobile app development, and there are still now in the market there are multiple mobile devices which can read the NFC tags and which can only read the tags. Android or iOS device cannot write the NFC tags. So in that case, we can analyze the whole data through the GPS tracking, NFC tags, and using Google Maps. So the website is maps.google.com. They also have the API documentation for it. So we can integrate that whole information through the mobile app development, and we can store that data over the cloud-based data storage. Talking about the cloud-based data storage, that includes DO, which is Digital Ocean, AWS, Amazon, CDN, and multiple other online platforms are available. But in the case of all those systems, you can go for serverless application through the Express or Node.js, and also you can integrate with the MongoDB. So as soon as people are using the data, or we are tracking police officers, or police officer are using those application, the data can be analyzed through the machine learning and AI system. So in the future, we also go for the not only the fund trail analysis, but as the user or the individual analysis, that how the process is going through the tracking. So integration you can be done through the GPS, the analysis or the detection can be done through the NFC tags and readers. All integration or all the systems can be done through the mobile app development, and the hint is Kotlin. And the whole data analysis we can go to the cloud based data storage. At the moment, if you have any question, you can ask me in the chat so I can reply over that. So instead of going to the next topic, I will reply on your answers.
Sir, there is a
So it is
question from
not
Aditya.
necessary that ML is needed into the development, but if you are really selecting the topic which needed a specific GPS location or GPS tracking, that need a specific diameter or radius, then ML will be very helpful. But instead of that, you can jump on the direct AI system, so that can be helpful. But AI systems can give you false positive data, so better you can combine the both AI and the ML. Should we jump on the next?
Yes, sir. Guys, if anyone has any query, please ask in comments.
So let's jump on the next. So decryption of WeChat and DingTalk. So
Sir,
talking
one
about
more
the
query.
sorry,
One more query, sir.
yeah, just a moment. Uh, if your problem requires, or if your statement requires the NFC, you should only stick with that, because if we use any other NFC, or sorry, any other technology that is not included in the hackathon, it is highly possible that you can get a less or minus points, or you can lose the points. So better you can go with the NFC tags, which is very helpful and easy to hand. So once you take the NFC tag on amazon.com, you will get like 20 tags into 200 rupees. So you can start from the scratch and you can build a great product from it. So decryption about WeChat and DingTalk. So many applications are over all the internet. So talking about the forensic tool, cloud forensic tools, cryptography and decryption algorithms. So if we take the example of WeChat and DingTalk, or not even these two applications, all other applications which are into the iOS or APKs. So in the iOS case, we have the IPA files. In the Android systems, we have the APK files. So analysis tools, first of all, what you need uh, before doing this if we are taking this topic, decryption of WeChat and DingTalk, we need to know that how we can decompile the application and how we can do the source code review. So how many guys are familiar with the source code review or code review into application development or website development? No problem at all. So there is a website over the Pentester Lab. They have also small sessions where how you can start with the code review and how you can start with the secure code review. So in the case of application development, there are two types, which is coding and another one is a secure coding. So don't forget, whenever you are creating any framework or whenever you are creating any kind of application, that must include security, because this is the biggest hackathon of 2023. Talking about mobile forensic tool, you can start with the MobSF framework. It's the basic, and you can start from the code review on that. In the case of cloud forensic tools, there are multiple nexus, there are multiple tools or Acunetics are available. In that case, those are the automated. But if you go with the specific cryptography, if you want to learn about the decryption algorithm, how you can decompile the whole things and getting the secrets from the applications, you can start from MobSF, where you can decompile your IPA or APK application to read the source code review. So in that case, what you have to focus first when you are decrypting or when you are decrypting any kind of application, you have to look for the JavaScript files or JS files or strings.xml file into the mobile application, and that includes a sensitive tokens or API URLs. So basically, what is API URLs or what is a base URLs? So if you get the API keys or secret tokens, that you can fetch the data through the curl commands or bash scripting to retrieve the data from that specific server. But in that case, you will need a two things, which is API key, secret token, and another one is a base URL. So it is not possible that you can open the your house lock with the cupboard lock or cupboard key. It is not
Yeah.
totally possible. So for that specific key, you will need a specific URL that can only give you access to specific data, so you can decrypt the whole information, and that includes a cryptography. So if you are having the access token of specific application, and if you can decrypt it, you can still manage to get the whole decryption algorithm and you can learn how it is working. So that case, it is highly possible that you can find the multiple other vulnerabilities, but in the case, our target is only decryption of WeChat and DingTalk. So that's why we just need to knock the door. We don't need to open it, and we can go with the forensic analysis by the start of the source code review and code review application. So the hint is JavaScript files and XML file. In this case, what problems we might face? Things we might face is like there are multiple thousands of files into the Android application, and we have to look for the activity files which are publicly available. So even if the main application is a secured, I will give you one more hint, that you can get the oldest version of those application and you can go for the cryptology, cryptographic things and decryption algorithm. So the old version is always vulnerable or always easy to understand how the system is working. Highly possible there is a problem also. In the newer version, they might update it the security, but at least you will get to know that how the decryption algorithm in working in systems. So you can start with the reset password functionalities that can lead to the ETOs or sensitive unauthorized access. But as it's a hackathon, we only focused on decryption on the applications. Let's jump.
Yes, sir.
So detection of mesh networking. So this is very vast topic actually. In that, in case it includes spectrum analysis, signal processing, and pattern recognition. So wherever I go, I see like most of the time pattern recognition is publicly available, and you can learn that how system or that specific network is available. So my question to you all audience, that is it possible without connecting to the network we can tell how many people or how many systems are connected into the network?
No, sir.
Is it possible?
No.
So it's not totally possible. We have to be in the network. So for that
Yes.
wireless network scanning, we have to go. And what kind of tools or what kind of hardwares we can use? So first of all, we have to go for a specific pen test methodology where we can access the network, even if the network is publicly exposed. So let's suppose talking about the MACD or KFC, they do have open exposed network. For case studies, you can go for it, you can check for the open network. And in the case of spectrum analysis and signal processing, you can use the tool, or network analysis, you can go for the nmap, you can go for the wireshark. So that case you can process for the signal processing, and in that case also wireshark can give you the pattern recognition. But if you want to extend the network, or if you wanted to know that how the system is working, so there is a specific host which start from 1 to 255. So let's suppose in our wi-fi network there are 20 people are connected, but we don't know the ip address or mac address of that specific detection. Highly possible any other security researcher or any other person can find it, that if you are connected into it. But in that case, people might change the MAC address to differentiate the identity between the devices and identity between the network. So that's how you can go for detection of mesh networking. Integration through the APIs, not possible. Integration through the automation, highly possible. Start with the bash scripting that can help you to automate this whole process by signal processing and pattern recognition. But the issue that you can find into Wireshark, because it's a thick client tool, and I'm not sure that you can integrate with the bash scripting by recognition, the pattern and signal processing. But for wireless network scanning, you can go for it and start for the study cases which are open networks. So this is the detection of LoRa, which is short range, long range actually, and it is the same as spectrum analysis, which I explained the last. Also, the signal processing the same. In the network scanning, you can start with the one tool. So all you have the Android and iOS devices, right? So if you go
Yes.
to the App Store, if you go to the Play Store, there is a tool named a Fing, which is a network scanning tool. And in that case, we can get to know that how many people or how many people are connected into the system. So talking about the systems, how does it work as a Fing tool? So Fing tool can detect all the information if it is publicly available or not. So it can detect the devices which are into the systems or not. Similar like that into the Fing API integration, you can check for the pattern recognition, and it is publicly available. But the thing is, you have to go for a specific subscription if you want to go for the APIs through the Fing, and you can go for the detection of LoRa processes. This process can be totally automated because the tool and the APIs can be helpful. And one more good thing, that you can go for mesh networking plus detection of LoRa through the Fing also. So Fing can help you to perform multiple things. So as I said, that Wireshark cannot help a lot, but it's a thick client tool, so we cannot automate all this. So that is a problem challenge here. But using a Fing tool, we can get a lot of information. And once you started using these tools, you can get your hands dirty on those applications. You will get to know like what is your problem statement and how you should process it. So these are the very specific keywords which I'm taking, and as I said, I'm saying this 3 times. You have to do the research over the keywords, right? And you are all the internet, all the information is publicly available. The point is how you are going to use it. Talking about the hardware forensic suite, disk forensic, memory forensic, network traffic analysis. So the first I'm selecting network traffic analysis, which is Wireshark. Also we can go for hum to hum, that includes a heap network detection. And apart from that, you can go for the N mapping. So that includes for the specific network, you can scan for the systems or IP addresses which are the exposed ports are available or exposed services are available. So let's give an example. There is a FTP port or 21, there is a SSH which is 22, secure shell port is open, and it is available for open integration or default credential access. So in that case, if you wanted to do the forensic tool, if you want to go for this forensic tool, there are multiple other systems or hardwares available. Those are like pretty expensive, but in the case of automation from the scratch, you can go for the network analysis, and from that you can look for the specific ports which are exposed. In the case of memory forensic tools, first of all you need to know that how memory works, and what kind of memory data or what kind of storage it have. On that basis, you also have Oxygen OS, which is operating system. You can use it for forensic analysis and tools. And by getting this all data, you can upload and you can analyze through the AI ML through the cloud based data storage. Talking about the on-premise deployment options, so many corporates, many individuals and organizations, they need this kind of forensic security if it is needed. So what they can do, they can create a specific console log through the Node.js systems that can log all the information and upload on a cloud-based data storage, and it is analyzed by AI and ML. So that can automation that can be done through the Slack systems. So you just have to create the application and create a specific configuration files through the YAML systems. And if you find anything malicious or any system is going malicious, for that you have to create the AI ML integration, and that can send a notification into your Slack application or Slack tokens, whatever you have integrated. So this is the hardware forensic tool that can be done through the specific hardware tools. Let's suppose network scanning tools or open signal scanning tools are publicly exposed. And in the case there is a tool named as a Flipper Zero. This is very high demanded tool which can be done for IoT testing, all the network testing or LED testing. So you can go for it, and the keyword is Flipper Zero. So you can research about it. So auditing proprietary cellular portable electronic devices. So talking about the cellular, it can be GSM, it can be recent technology which is 5G, any kind of signal devices. So firmware analysis. So basically, what is a firmware? So let's suppose there is a Tesla vehicle and it is totally automated, right? That specific firmware includes a specific technology that is vehicle is properly driving through the automated system. But in that case, how we can go for it? We have to reverse it. We have to know that how the process is working. So all you guys know in your universities, you have learned about the deadlocks, right? If that specific function is not running, it might get for the deadlock. It can go for 360 and it can stop it. But in the case of that reverse engineering, why firmware analysis is important? When you get the firmware, you have to reverse it. You have to get the source code and you can learn from it. And on the basis of that, you can decompile, you can edit the code, you can recompile, and you can get it for free. You have a publicly exposed access. So let's suppose there is a GSM tool and there is a attack called SS7 that can be done through the portable electronic devices. So those portable electronic devices includes HackRF and Wi-Fi Pineapple. So these tools can help you to do a lot of radio frequencies things and auditing the proprietary cellular networks. So as I said, like IoT security analysis, also these tools can be helpful for that. Once you get those tools, you can actually rent those tools from any security application or any security store if it is available in your current city, or you can directly rent it from the Amazon if it's available in your region. So once you get the HackRF or Wi-Fi Pineapple, there are few many things you can try. You can go for the APN attack networks, access access point network. Also, you can go for the Evil Twin. So at least you will get to know that specific cellular or specific devices how those are working. And in the beginning you can start from the cheapest. So I'm not talking about you must have the laptop or you must have any supercomputer. You can go for the Raspberry Pi, which is available into 6,000 7,000 rupees. And on that basis you can create a specific tool by the integration through the Raspberry Pi and HackRF and RF, also the Flipper Zero. So this is how you can go for the auditing. In the case of automation, you can create a specific bash script that will log this whole data, save it into the text file, and create an Excel report into that. So basically, it depends on what kind of organization you're working. If it is a government, they need a specific format. If it's a corporate, they need a specific format. On that basis, you can create your format by creating the flags through the all other websites. So there is a website called notion.so. So you can create a specific template, or publicly templates are available that will be very good on the systems. So cryptocurrency investigation tools. So till the moment I've been like very confused because crypto is very anonymous and very peer-to-peer connections. So blockchain analysis tools, data analysis, machine learning, NLP is always there, and visualization tool. So what kind of visualization tools we require for cryptocurrency investigation, or what kind of techniques we need for cryptocurrency investigation? Do we need UMLs? Do we need diagramming? Do we need uh, cryptographic analysis?
Yes,
Yep.
yes,
So talking about the blockchain analysis tool, there are multiple tools are publicly exposed. So talking about the CryptoQuant, talking about the coin path, consent systems, and elliptic. These are the tools which I believe like pretty good. But on that basis, we might face a problem through the data analytics because it's a peer-to-peer connection, and highly possible that we can get a wrong data, or if we put the wrong address to the chains, or if we put the wrong address to the pools, so we cannot detect it properly. So whenever you are putting all those information from the blockchain analysis tools or visual tools, you should go for a specific tool named as a token analyst or a token system. So what is that? So it will analyze a specific address or specific currency, and you can integrate a specific whole documentation through one website. For testing purpose, you can use a website bitaru.com, trade.bitaru.com.au, which is Australian website. But still, that can be helpful because their APIs are publicly exposed. And if you wanted to do a cryptocurrency investigation, you can combine the whole information with the coin firm or token analyst tool. So problem we might face, or what is the solution over it? It's a big data because we are analyzing the whole globe. If we go for a specific region, we can go for it. But I guess crypto, not a guess, it's a publicly overall available, right? So in
yeah.
that case, visualization tool and the data analysis can be done through the cloud-based storage systems, and that's how we go for it. Problem cases, as I explained, big data, we have to analyze, we have to go through the AI/ML integration if it is a valid or not, and that's how we can work for it. So I tried to cover actually. Uh, this was the thing from my side, and the publicly PPT and all the information will be available. I am all ears for questions.
Sir, from Call Gamers, how can individuals and organizations keep their sensitive data secure?
So individuals and organization can keep their sensitive data secure. So it depends on data, what kind of information they have. So the point is, if they have, let's suppose, Aadhaar card or PAN card or their PII, which is personal identity information, so they must not upload any kind of specific numbers or specific keywords on the internet. Talking about the organization, they must have the hybrid systems, which is cloud plus their physical system for server storage. So in the case of disaster, they can just they must have the backup plan, or they must have the disaster backup plan, that what can be done through it. So if the data is secure, it is not possible actually. Overall, the internet, everyone is like exposed. We cannot hide from it. But thing is, we can try the max what we can. So talking about the that they can give good for, like most specific security or most specific scanning tools. So on the case of analysis, they can go for quick total virus total applications, also antivirus systems. But I don't think so even antivirus can save those things, because technology is evolving and many people are trying very best to find the bugs and to report it. So but we can try for the organization to put the hybrid system over the premises, inside the premises.
Sir, another one is, what is the difference between malware, ransomware, and spyware?
So basically, the talking about all the ransomware is malware, but not all malware is a ransomware. So this is the one thing I can say. In the case of spyware, there are multiple applications that are RAT system, remote access Trojan. So it can detect or it can get installed into the systems without any security. and it can transfer your data. In case of spyware, there is a technique called keystroking. When we type something on systems or keyboards, that can be tracked. So as I explained, that malware or ransomware can be very effective. So in the case, malware can also work as a spyware or remote access. Also, the ransomware can include or can encrypt or can damage the systems if it is publicly available.
Sir, another one is solution for obscenity blocker.
Okay. So in the case of development or in the case of API integration, so I will tell you the proper everything. So there is a options filter which are available over the GitHubs, which is the Python system with the version of 3.0. If you want to analyze the whole framework or whatever the application you are developing, the solution is that the code review can be done at the first glance. You don't need to do the UAT testing for it. And in the backup plan, whenever you're developing a specific function, so let's suppose detection or cloud storage upload. So I will tell you that you must focus on the upload section that can be vulnerable if your application is going to be a public. So solution, as I explained, the keyword is profanity filter also, and also the options filter which are on the GitHub. So there is a lot of technical keywords are publicly available. I'm just giving you the hints.
Okay. How can participants determine which problem statement to focus on for their proposed solution?
So depends on a participant that what kind of skill set they have. So if a person is if the team is having people of three, so let's suppose the first person is good into coding, another one is a testing, and the third one is a problem solution. So they can create the whole automation. And nowadays there are multiple AI systems are there, but I will not suggest use a AI system for development. So if you are good into the coding or if you are good into the testing things, you can go for topics which are good. So in the case of coding, I will tell you about creating the first topic, which is women safety app. And in the case of like research, you can go for the police traffic GPS systems, and also you can go for forensic systems. So you can go for the proposed solution, but first of all, you have to make the documentation through the LaTeX application, create the uh, specific proposal for it, that what you are going to do into the system, and do not copy anything from the Google. So whatever you are going to do, you must put it wise there.
Is there is a risk of damaging the device during the auditing process?
Yes, there is a risk during audit process if you are using a devices. So let's suppose the device capacity is about 200 volts and you are processing through the, let's suppose, 400 or 500 volts. So it can get heated or it can get a lot of malicious systems, because the capacity is only 200 and you are processing the data of 400, or if you are forcing the 400 information, so that can be very malicious over the thread. So what I suggest over that, if you wanted to process the 400 data, you can process it for the specific time, and if you believe the system or device is getting heated or getting the lag, so you can stop it for the while. That is a cool down period in a auditing process, and again you can use it for the same.
Okay. Sir, can you please tell me about KVH011 citizen security?
Okay. So in that case, citizen security, a lot of things are exposed. Let me check the statements again, because I have created like a very small topics for the statement analysis. So in that case, we have to go for SMS headers and mobile numbers. So in that case, UPI addresses, Bitcoin wallet addresses, and all those SMS templates. So in that case, what I believe, we have to develop application to flag malicious fraud indicators in real time. So for that, you need a specific ISP authority. For that, includes mobile numbers, mobile numbers. So let's suppose for data cases, you can get the few samples of mobile numbers and ask them to send any malicious emails. So what happens? So instead of a mobile numbers or SMSs, you can start the research from emails. So how does the email work? So if you click on any email and if you click on show original, that can include the headers. But in the SMS headers, in case of mobile numbers, you have to decompile the whole SMS systems and then you have to look for it. As I said, into the URL links, you can check for the virus total API integration if it's totally valid or not. UPI addresses, you can go for Bharat Pay API documentation if that specific UPI is valid or not. If it's received any kind of spam or fraud things from it. And talking about the mobile numbers, there is a Truecaller API integration that can tell us like if it is really spam or it is really original number. And also that you can done from the Bitcoin wallet addresses. So basically, in the case of crypto SMS or crypto things, you can check for the service provider, from which service provider you have received the SMS, and you can ask the same for your customer care. For testing purpose, you can go for it, and if they are open for the authority, that you can go for analysis. And as I said, the website, which is state.bitaro.com.au, you can go for Bitcoin wallet address API integration. And SMS template identification, there are multiple things we can do. We can go for the manual, but in that case, you go for the AI systems. So you can analyze if the message is false positive or if that message includes any kind of wrong information or not. That can be done very automatically.
Okay. Tell us best platform to study about this type of tools in deep.
So best, I won't say any best platform, but what I will say that if you, let's suppose you took the topic of mobile forensic, you can simply go to the Google or Bing. You can search for mobile forensic and medium.com. So medium.com is a article based platform where you can get the all the list of specific information.
As for police monitoring system, they have mentioned in the video that we can use any other IoT applications other than NFC. So can we use IoT for that?
Yes, you can use a IoT for that. But in the case of research and development, because what I believe, like you can start from the scrap or you can start from the scratch and you can create a good. Uh, so IoT applications will be good. But first of all, you at least need to know that how NFC works or how the tags are working. So decompiling the tags, reading the tags, and writing the information into it. So that will be very like 200 or 300 rupees in the beginning. So once you get comfortable with that, you can literally combine the IoT applications and NFC tags through all over the processes. So you can use any of IoT for that.
Okay. Sir, bit wallet address is not clear.
Don't think so. That mostly, if you're talking about a bit wallet address, they have a forums, and multiple people expose their bit wallet address into the comment section also. So even if you go to the forums.coinbase.com, you can check for the study cases. So those cases are available for testing purpose. You can create a dummy database, and from the forums you can get the addresses through the web crawling or web scraping. So that can help you, I guess.
Sir, how can we secure our source code from any attack?
So if you're you have to do the UAT testing. So instead of putting the source code over the production system, you can put it on your basic UAT, which is user acceptance testing or staging environment. And if you believe that the code is not secure, you can use the proxy tool to check if that specific web application or Android application or whatever you have developed, it includes any kind of vulnerabilities or not. So I will not suggest you can put your source code on any kind of third party security testing platforms. You have to do it manually because it's a pretty big event And the moment you disclose the information over the internet, it is publicly available. So start with the proxy tools, which is OS Zap, which is also a burp suit, and that's how you can go for secure code review.
KVS002 Obesity Blocker. Until now, we have developed the prototype which scans the entire website and classifies whether safe, not, and block it. Can you suggest further ideas to add
So
to
further
this?
ideas I can give for the website scanning, that it should include a BLH, which is broken link hijacking, because most of the time the phishing or the malicious website don't have a proper security. And also there is a API integration of Grammarly, which check the API, or which check the URL is valid or not. So that can detect the grammatical mistakes, and that can logged into the system, and it can also done with the automation that can send a notification or the Slack systems. So I will tell you the keywords, which is broken link checker, also the Grammarly API integration, and also you can go for 403 bypasser tools. So if your website is not allowing any specific endpoint, but as an attacker or any security researcher can access those endpoint, that can create a threat for it. So for that, you can also go for manual testing through the burp suite.
How can we secure our applications from attacks?
So, securing applications from the attack, make sure you used a good third-party services if you are going to use it, or else you can develop your own API catalogs. So, let's suppose talking about the GPS. So, if you are using API integration of third-party, which is Google Maps, so make sure your key is not available to anyone, so people cannot use it. So, these are the small things you can go for it. So mostly don't outsource your systems, or don't outsource your uh, development process. But there are few things into the hackathon that you at least you have to do the outsource. So whatever you are outsourcing, make sure that outsourcing third party is secure first, so you can check their whole documentation or organizational reputation, so you can go for it.
As for variables for police hackathon, how can how can we make sure that the respective police officers are wearing their own variables all the time of the bandobest?
So that includes the NFC with the GPS system. So that NFC tag includes a specific identity. So let's suppose police number A is wearing the band or wearing the variables of police number C. So that can create a beep for that specific system. So that's why I'm talking about the NFC and that GPS system. So that specific identity or the parameter which is only allocated for that police identity or police numerical. So if the identity is 124 and NFC number is ABC, that will only work on that specific systems, or that will only work on that specific IoT device, whatever you are using. So there is a two-step identification you can add into it.
So guys, even after the session, when you will do the process, you can ask in the Air Club community also. I hope you all have joined. If not, I am posting link in the comments. I hope this session I hope this session like to thank my audience for supporting us. Special thanks to my hardworking core team of Air Club for finding me to capable to the host. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Goodbye.